And now you can see the Backseat Mogul Show in all its video glory on our YouTube page at roughedge.tv. For the very best breakfasts, lunches, and cocktails, visit Harbor Cove Cafe, the hidden treasure at the end of Spinnaker Drive in the Ventura Harbor. Open 7:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. every day. Harbor Cove Cafe, located at 1867 Spinnaker Drive in the Ventura Harbor. For more information, visit harborcovecafe.net or give them a call at 805-658-1639. We'll see you there.
Showbiz is a cruel and shallow money trench, a long plastic hallway where thieves and pimps run free and good men die like dogs for no good reason. There's also a bad side.
This is the Backseat Mogul Show live here on Rough Edge FM. I am R. Scott Bolton. I am the Backseat Mogul, and this is the show where we talk about show business. Sitting right over there is Johnny D. Johnny, good morning.
Morning, Scotty B.
What's going on?
Oh, I don't know. Just Happy New Year.
Okay, that's a good start. It is our first show of 2025 because I was in Vegas last week, so I couldn't make the show. Obviously, I could have because we can do anything through StreamYard now, but I was in no condition to do the show at 9:00 this time last week. So anyway, we had a great time up in Vegas, and it was just a fun hangout. It was my mom's birthday, so we're celebrating her birthday up there. But today we're going to talk about, which is fitting, the most highly anticipated movies of 2025, and we'll get to that shortly. But first of all, we wanted to talk about Nosferatu because I saw Nosferatu a couple of weeks ago, I guess. And Johnny went to see it this past week. And I'll let Johnny go first with his thoughts on Robert Eggers' Nosferatu.
You know how I feel about vampire movies. I just enjoy them. Yeah, I wasn't that thrilled with it.
Okay.
I mean, there was a lot. It had its good points, and I should have jotted them down. But no, I just was. Now the acting, don't get me wrong, the acting was good. Maybe it was some of the direction. I don't know. It just did not grab me the way other vampire Dracula's, Nosferatu. What was the one that Willem Dafoe played, Nosferatu?
Mark of the Vampire.
Mark of the Vampire. Yeah. I loved that movie. But I don't know, for some reason, I just...
Do you think that part of the problem, because you're not alone in this, a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people thought it was kind of boring. And some of that might be because the story is so familiar to us. I mean, it's the same story that they told in the original Dracula movie. It's the same story, basically, that Bram Stoker told in his original book. I haven't read the Nosferatu book. I've only read the Dracula book, so I can't speak to that. But do you think it's like the King Kong movie? Peter Jackson's King Kong was so good, but you knew the story so well because we'd all seen it so many times that it was kind of draggy. Do you think that was a problem for you with that, maybe?
I don't know. I will tell you this, and I'm ashamed to admit this, but yeah, I got so bored with this movie. I started scrolling through on my phone.
You know, there's people behind you trying to watch a movie and you got your phone lit up.
No, I made sure there was nobody. I was in the same seats that we had before. Was it E13? Almost at the very back.
That's where I like to sit. Second in the back row, far left.
And I just wanted to make sure there was nobody behind me before I did that. And there was not very many people in there.
The movie's a big hit. It's Robert Eggers' biggest hit ever. I liked it a lot. And it's funny, my wife not so much. She said it was okay. You know, she thought it was fine. I liked it because of its ickiness when he was drinking the victim's blood and that big gulping noise. that was pretty disgusting and different. The fact that he bit them in the chest was different.
Yeah, instead of the neck.
Yeah, that was very interesting. And my first thought, well, that's where the heart is, so it's better. But then I'm thinking the jugular vein's just as good a source item. Well, probably not. Probably not as good a source as the heart. But I like that. I love the cinematography. It was absolutely stunningly brilliant. I liked the fact that it felt creepy to me the whole time I watched it. I think that they might have overdone Skarsgård's voice as Nosferatu, because sometimes you had no idea what the hell the man was saying.
Yeah.
You needed subtitles, really. But I loved it at the same time because it was so foreign and evil. You know, that voice was so deep, and him trying to pronounce English words. My son sent me he sent me a text one time because I'd sent him a picture of our dog and he thought it looked like Nosferatu. And he replied, I need your signature. It's like, yeah, that's what it sounded like. You know, it's kind of hard to understand. I think that the other thing about it is that this version of Nosferatu is as much an art film as it is a vampire film. So people going expecting to see a Christopher Lee type Dracula or a Bela Lugosi, they're going to be disappointed because it's not the same.
And I agree with you. Bram Stoker's Dracula, the one with Keanu Reeves and yes,
the one that Francis Ford Coppola directed.
Yes,
I think so.
That I believe
Gary Oldman, right?
Yeah, Gary Oldman. Thank you. Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed that one. I really did. But this one just didn't grab me.
Yeah, again, not an art film. The Francis Ford Coppola one is not an art film. It's, you know, a good movie. It's Francis Ford Coppola, so it's probably a great movie. I didn't like it when I saw it the first time, and I've only seen it that one time. But now I want to see it again because, you know, I'm still curious about Megalopolis, which I haven't seen yet. And Coppola, no matter what you say, is one of the greatest directors in the history of film. So I need to go back and see that again. But I did enjoy Nosferatu. I also understand why people don't. You know, it doesn't have that modern thrust of action from the beginning to the end. It tells the story in its own time, and you either go along with it or you don't. You know, I was a little disappointed in the ending. I don't know what I wanted, because I'm kind of sick of vampires bursting into ashes and, oh, spoiler alert, the vampire dies. Like, you don't know that. But
oh man, I missed that part.
But in this one, he just dies. Something happens and he just dies. He doesn't burst into flames. He doesn't burst into ashes. He doesn't decay instantly away. He just dies. And that was, I expected a little bit more explosive of an ending. That's my fault, because I'm watching a movie that I'm thinking of the other vampire movies, you know. But again, I'm glad they didn't, because the first movie I remember seeing that ashes thing in was Blade. When Blade would kill a vampire, they just burst into ash. And that was cool then. Now I'm sick to death of it, because they do it all the freaking time.
And they did I got to put this in there. They did that with the later Star Trek movies and TV series. I think the very first episode of Picard, where it shows Crusher, Dr.
Beverly Crusher.
Yeah. And she's got that rifle looking thing, and she shoots these guys and they just into ash.
Well, that's always been that way. I mean,
yeah.
But I don't remember him bursting into ash.
Well, that's what when you said bursting into ash, that's what it reminds me of.
But I mean, I don't remember that particular visual. That's what the phasers always did when they were set to kill. The worst one was Star Trek II, when do you remember when they killed the two crew members who'd been, he killed himself. He was Khan ordered him to kill Kirk, and he couldn't do it. Because he'd been, he's a Starfleet officer first. And even though he had that worm in his ear telling him what to do, so he turned the phaser on himself and shot himself. And you saw his body start to dissolve quickly, of course. And he's got this horrible look of pain on his face. It's like his skeleton shows through. I thought, wow, this is a Star Trek movie. Where's Tarantino? Did you do this? It was, I know he wants to do a Star Trek movie.
I got to tell you, I liked Renfield a lot better.
Really?
Yeah.
I was disappointed in Renfield. I enjoyed it, but it was like, it wasn't as good as I hoped it would be. Nicolas Cage. And was it Nicholas Hoult who was the other?
I can't remember who played Renfield,
but he was good.
Oh yeah, he's very good.
But I was a little disappointed in that. Anyway, I did like Nosferatu a lot, and the only disappointed part I had was the ending. I thought the ending was a little anticlimactic, but it was, it just, the way it looked, the way it sounds, and I have to tell you, I wondered if how it would play in some theaters with less than superior sound, because if you don't hear that voice clearly, you don't know what they're saying. We saw it in the big theater at the Collection, so of course it's got great sound, but I wondered if in theaters with less superior, let's just say inferior. If it's less superior, it's inferior sound systems, that maybe you couldn't hear that guy's voice at all, and that would also get a little boring when you're trying to listen to something and you can't understand what the monster is saying.
I mean, there was a few things like, okay, do you remember where our hero, he's riding on his horse and he's going through, and then the horse disappears and he's walking, and he walks into that village. There was no horse with him when he walked into that village.
Well, he left it at the parking lot. It's easy.
Oh, okay. But then when he left the village, he was riding the horse.
I'm sure if you see that again, that's explained. I'm sure. There's no way they're going to forget that. Oh, he was on a horse. Nobody's that bad at continuity. Has to be explained. Now you got me intrigued. I'll have to watch it again to see that. But anyway, that's our reviews of Nosferatu. John gives it a thumbs down. I give it a thumbs up. But with a caveat, it like I said, it is an art film as much as a vampire film. So if you're going expecting to see Blade, you're going to be sadly disappointed. But if you're going to see something that pushes the boundaries of filmmaking, then you'll get that. I know the gnats are back. What the hell is that from?
Missed him by that much.
All right, so
it's a vampire gnat. Oh man!
Johnny rewatched Body of Evidence, but I have not. So we're gonna hold that for next week because I will try to watch it again. The good news is that
because I got the perfect line.
I'm sure he does.
We'll off air we'll talk.
Okay. Well, you can give it away. We'll just use it again next week.
Oh,
He's all choked up. What is with these damn gnats?
I don't know.
Were you going to tell us, or are you just going to sit there and drink?
No, Wow. What is the tagline for that episode?
That episode? Where are we at?
Not for episode. What is the
for Body of Evidence?
Yeah. No. For when we talk about a movie, is it as
bad as they say it is?
No, this was not as bad as they say it was. It was worse. God, was it terrible?
That's your great line.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it.
I went into it. Okay.
No, you didn't. You couldn't.
I know it. And then, like I said, I started reading some of the reviews, and I don't mean by review from Joe Schmo over in Timbuktu. No, I'm talking about
Roger Ebert knows.
Yes. Yeah. And it's like, oh, when we were not alone.
We were with the cast and crew and they were laughing at it. So what does that tell you? But so I'll watch it again. The reason we're even talking about Body of Evidence is because it's a film that always comes up when we're talking about bad movies. And we decided we would watch it again and give it a new review. It's been 20 years since we saw that.
Oh,
what year was that released?
Yeah, it has to be because you saw a very, very young Willem Dafoe. And I'm still in love with
31 years.
I'm still in love with Ann Archer.
You're so damn old.
Yes, I am.
31 years ago we saw that movie because we saw it before it opened in theaters. All right, so we'll get to that next week. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Who am I talking to? Put what in your pipe and smoke it. All right.
Well, it depends on what kind of pipe it is.
Actually, we're going to take a quick break and visit with our friends at Pele Uto, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the most anticipated movies of 2025. Pele Uto, Reno's only traditional tiki bar. A kaleidoscope of colors and tropical charm with the undeniable allure of paradise and intoxicatingly delicious cocktails. Pele Uto, Open Wednesday through Sunday from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. 1275 Stardust Street in Reno, Nevada. For more information, please visit pele-utu.bar. I'll tell you a story about Pele Utu. This is pretty interesting. As the ad says there, it is Reno's only traditional tiki bar.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's another bar in town that serves tropical drinks.
Mm-hmm.
So people online started getting nasty about, well, this Pele Utu is not Reno's only traditional tiki bar, because this other bar, and I wish I could remember their name because they're actually turned out to be really cool people. They said, you know, there's this other place over there. They have the tiki drinks. They have the tiki decor. That's a real tiki bar. So there's two, actually. You can't be the only one. Yeah. Okay. So this whole long list of people arguing back and forth whether or not Pele Utu was a tiki bar, was the only tiki bar. And somebody finally posted, we're not a tiki bar. We're a tropical bar. And it was the other bar. So the other bar defended Pele Utu.
That's nice.
In the case. Yeah, I like that a lot there. So please pay the fee of Fast Track Lane on January 11th, 2025 in order to order excessive late fees. Oh, I'll jump right on that. This is from the toll roads. Okay, I just got this text. I love these. They're telling me that I didn't pay the fee for my toll road. And it's from Cable Chow at outlook.com, which obviously is a major company. For that email address. And they're telling me that I owe the fast track by January 11th or I'll be paid excessive fees. And the website I'm supposed to go to is thetollroads.com-3k89.sbs/US. Yeah, sure. That's an official website. Oh, I can't do that in this show. Anyway, I
almost.
All right, so 2025, a lot of good movies. I mean, I'm excited about many of the movies. We just watched the trailer for Jason Statham's upcoming A Working Man, and as I said on the Facebook, the Backseat Mogul Facebook page, just take my money now because I can't wait to see. Do you like that trailer, Johnny? I mean,
I did.
The movie.
I did.
It's just another Statham. They think he's just a construction worker. Little do they know he's a lot more than that. Just like The Beekeeper, just like a lot of the great ones, and by the filmmaker of the Beekeeper, as a matter of fact. So,
do you remember? I've asked you this before. The first movie that you saw Jason Statham in?
Yeah, you ask me that every single time Statham's name comes up.
Well,
and it would be the
it's Statham.
I don't remember. It was before the what's that remake that he did?
It would have been
The Italian Job.
The Italian Job.
Yeah. That's the first one that I can remember.
As much as I really, really enjoyed that movie, the remake, I had one problem with it.
I know. He was bald. Oh, what?
He was?
I don't think he was in that movie.
You remember where they go to the that one guy's mansion, the one that tried to kill everybody?
No, but go ahead.
And he's got this big screen TV on and shows a Michael Caine movie on the screen. They should have done Michael Caine's Italian Job.
They should have.
But they didn't.
It was probably Get Carter.
And I think it was Get Carter.
Yeah. Yeah, they should have. They probably couldn't get they probably didn't want to pay for the clip rights, would be my guess. Because I can see that would be, it shouldn't be that much more expensive, but who knows? Maybe they got a better deal. It doesn't matter. I was watching a movie yesterday, terrible movie called Cop Out with Bruce Willis and Tracy Morgan. And it's just really bad. Kevin Smith directed it, and I'm sorry because it's just awful. But there's a scene in the beginning where Tracy Morgan is interviewing a suspect because they're cops, obviously. And he's in the room and he's just using movie quotes. I mean, whatever movie quotes come to mind, he's in there going, "We need a bigger boat," trying to, stuff like that. It's really not that funny, but it's just like bizarre. But the funny part is at one point he goes, "Yippee-ki-yay," and cuts to Bruce Willis in the other room. And he goes, "I never saw that movie." All right. So we're talking about the most anticipated movies of 2025. And we're starting, I think these are in order from the date they're released. I don't know how far we'll get through. We started a little late, sorry, but we'll push through. This is from GQ.com. So Gentlemen's, is that Gentlemen's Quarterly? Is that what GQ stands for?
Yes, it is.
the first link I was going to use was rollingstone.com, but I don't like Rolling Stone magazine. They're very stuffy and snooty, and I just don't like to deal with
like
them.
the old format that Rolling Stone had, or it was
Yeah,
like a
back when it was
newspaper. It was a newspaper, not a magazine.
I don't care about that. That doesn't bother me at all. I care about what their attitude is, and I just don't like their attitude these days. A lot of that started with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing, and that one guy who's Rolling Stone, a writer for Rolling Stone at least, said that Kiss would never be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because they destroyed rock and roll. Well, they're in it, so just shut up. Anyway, moving on. First, we have Steven Soderbergh's new movie, which is, do I need to call an ambulance or something, John?
No, I just can't get rid of this phlegm.
Well, that's perfect. That's perfect breakfast talk.
Well, you asked me.
Did I ask for details? Tell me, John, what are you choking on? No, never mind. Moving on. Presents is the name of the movie. It's out January 7th.
I didn't know we were going to exchange presents. Okay.
I'm so sorry. Presents, January 17th, Steven Soderbergh's new movie. This is going to be very interesting because Steven Soderbergh, of course, is known for his heist movies and dramas. This is a horror movie. And I believe it's the first horror movie that he's done. And it's very interesting because Lucy Liu is in it. Julia Fox is in it. And it's written by David Koepp. Now, David Koepp is one of the best screenwriters in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And I just discovered he's a novelist as well. In fact, I bought one of his books this weekend. So very much looking forward to see what Soderbergh does with a horror movie. Now, I just hope it doesn't end up with, that he bought a copy of Neath and made a movie, because I'll be very unhappy. I'm sure that's not the case. No. Number 2 on our list is February 14th. Now you got me doing it. Captain America: Brave New World. We've seen the trailers for this. It's been on virtually every movie we've gone to see. And you know what? I like the Captain America movies. Now, I'm not a big fan of superhero movies, as most people know. I'm just sick of them. And that's why I like Deadpool, because he's kind of the anti-superhero. But the Captain America movies have been pretty good. They've been a level above the typical Marvel movie, if you ask me. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. Harrison Ford has taken over the role that William Hurt left when he passed away. So we have Harrison Ford as president, which that'd be okay. And he also turns into the Red Hulk. None of this should surprise you if you've seen the trailer, because you see it also. That's February 14th, Captain America. On March 7th, we have Sinners. Now, I don't know what Sinners is about, so let's take a look at it. Details on Black Panther and Creed director Ryan Coogler's next project have been closely held. It's said to be a genre film, although what genre has yet to be officially revealed. Rumor has it that vampires are involved.
I'm there.
There's Johnny. What we know, it's about twin brothers, both played by Michael B. Jordan, who arrive at a small town looking to put their past behind them, and that doesn't quite work out as planned. The trailer, while no more revealing, looks pretty sick. So check out the trailer, folks, and see what you think about that. I'm intrigued to see Michael B. Jordan play twins. That'll be good. The story sounds like a typical vampire story, doesn't it? Somebody's returning to their hometown, and they find it filled with vampires. That's Salem's Lot. That's the
Lost Boys.
Lost Boys. So yeah, but you know what? Might be worth checking out. April 18th, we've got Mickey 17, and Mickey 17 is the story of the 17th clone of Mickey Mouse. And no, it's not really.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. This is from filmmaker, and I know I'm going to say his name wrong, Bong Joon-ho, and he is the guy who directed Parasite, which won a ton of Oscars a few years ago. It's a sci-fi comedy. It says existential sci-fi comedy, and because he won the Oscar for Best Picture, he's able to hire bigger actors, of course, and Robert Pattinson is the star of Mickey 17. It says here that Robert Pattinson stars as a series of expendable clones on an interstellar mission to colonize a new planet. Sounds pretty interesting. I had to almost laugh because every time I think of clones, I can't help but think of Preacher, and they're cloning Jesus. It's so blasphemous and so crazy. I just laughed till I had tears rolling down my eyes. It was just insane because they couldn't get it right. So they kept cloning and cloning, and they kept cloning these morons. And so what they do? They went, well, he's a moron. It doesn't work. Bam, shoot him in the head. Start again. That show was outrageous, but I loved every second.
Well, you know, going back to Picard, isn't that what they kind of did with Dr. Soon's creation, his daughter, number so-and-so number.
That's true. Yeah. And that's a typical science thing, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Lucy, that was it a cow or a pig that was the first clone? I think they had numbers as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was a cow.
Yeah. So,
I can't remember.
But anyway, the thing I love about clones is that in the movies, somebody gets shot in the head, they clone them, and they come back to the exact same age as they were. It's like, it's not how cloning works. Get a little baby, you know. But anyway.
And even Schwarzenegger did a movie about cloning.
And that was so fun because he would kill those guys. No, please don't kill me. And he'd kill them. They'd come back and he'd kill them, but be alive 2 seconds. That was great because they deserve to die. All those people. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, May 23rd. The final Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movie. If it's anywhere near as good as the rest of them, I'm there opening day.
Yes,
opening day. I'm there because they've been fantastic all the way through. I begged my son to see, I think it was Ghost Protocol.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't want to see it. He said, well, okay. So we went, and afterwards he goes, that was really good. Said, yeah, it was great, wasn't it? So now he's as big a fan of the Mission Impossible movies as I have. The last one was part 1 of this one. So this is part 2. And we know that things were not left solved in part 1,
mm-hmm.
which is kind of made me a little angry because they have some of the worst bad guys in that one they've ever had. And they're going to take care of them here, I'm sure.
And I'm going to have to rewatch part 1.
Yeah, you should. I'm going to do the same thing because I have to, probably not because I want to. Oh yeah. Yeah. Mission Impossible, May 23rd for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Rumor has it that Tom Cruise is currently hunting for a younger actor to take over the role of Ethan Hunt so that he can continue to produce the movies,
mm-hmm.
but they can have a new fresh star to the Mission Impossible movies. And I hope that happens. You got to have Christopher McQuarrie involved somehow, the director. Mm-hmm. And I think he does a lot of the writing, if not all of it. But I can see this series continuing with somebody else. And it'll probably be Glenn Powell because he's getting all the work these days.
I mean, but you've got to also, who are you going to get to replace his two?
Johnny, it's going to be a different team. Remember, Ethan Hunt's not a real name. It's a character.
Oh.
So new Ethan Hunt with a new team, it'll be good. I think that's a good idea. June 13th, Elio, which looks like an animated film here. And it's a Pixar film, as a matter of fact. The story is about an 11-year-old boy accidentally becoming the intergalactic ambassador for the Earth after being beamed up by aliens. Might have you rolling your eyes, it says here at GQ. But in their safe and sturdy hands, this is sure to be adorable. Of course, it is Pixar. Pixar does amazing work when mm-hmm. Disney lets them. When Disney puts down the big empire hammer, things get iffy, but mm-hmm. Pixar knows what they're doing. And if they mm-hmm. continue to do that, they'll have some success. I think this sounds great. I'll look forward to this.
I've never heard of this one.
It's new to me too, as a matter of fact. The writer of Coco is the one who wrote this movie. Have you seen Coco?
No.
I love the Coco story. Coco was a story about, it involved the Day of the Dead from Mexico. Mm-hmm. And according to, this is just a rumor, but I love it so much I have to spread it. The Chinese censors don't allow anything that celebrates the afterlife or
mm-hmm.
or a god or anything like that. They stop it there. You don't get to see it in China. The story is that by the time the censors finished watching Coco, which obviously has to do with the afterlife, they were all in tears because it was so beautiful and they passed it anyway. I hope that's a true story. I really hope that's a true story.
Well, that should become a movie. The story of the censors.
Well, that's kind of boring.
Then
But here's the movie, they cry, and the movie's over.
No, the censors all disappear because they cried.
Well, they probably did.
Oh, that's true too.
Yeah. June 20th, 28 years later. This is the sequel to 28 Days Later and 28 Months Later. So more of the zombies. I don't know how far they're going to move ahead. Well, 28 years, obviously, but what has happened? You know, what has it become? I keep thinking that Walking Dead got it so right that I don't know where they go with this, even though the zombies are a little different in this, obviously. But the cast, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Rafe Fiennes, and Jodie Comer are all stars in it. Cillian Murphy is also in it as well.
Oh, really?
So big stars because Danny Boyle is an Oscar-winning director.
Mm-hmm.
He won the Oscar for Midnight Millionaire, Slumdog Millionaire. Is that it? Slumdog Millionaire?
I was going to say Midnight at the Oasis.
That would be incorrect.
Yeah.
Slumdog Millionaire, which is a movie I did not like at all. I went on to win Best Picture. I didn't like it because it was so unbelievable. It was just like, wait, that's not how things work. But that was just me.
Right.
My wife loved it. So what does that tell you? That, you know, sometimes she's wrong.
She's not listening to this, is she?
She will be eventually. Yeah, I'm in trouble. Here's the movie that John's looking forward to the most.
Yes, I am.
June 27th, F1. And it is a story of how many F-bombs are in many movies. And there's one movie that's only in there. No, it's obviously a story about the F1 racing drama. The same guy who directed Top Gun Maverick, and starring Brad Pitt, Kerry Condon, Javier Bardem, and Tobias Menzies are all in here. It's going to be great.
F1 stands for Formula One Racing.
I believe that's what I said.
No, you said F1.
Yeah, because it stands for the number of F-bombs in it. But no.
Probably
anyway,
the same thing.
That will be a very good movie as well. Yeah. And, you know, you're pretty hot coming off Top Gun Maverick if you're a director. So
yeah,
and you got Brad Pitt. Now, here's the question. We should take bets now. How many times is Brad Pitt shirtless in this one? I love when they ask Tarantino that question. Did you really have to have Brad Pitt shirtless in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? He goes, yes, it's Brad Pitt. The right answer. All right. Jurassic World Rebirth is out July 2nd.
I don't know.
You know, nobody liked the last one. And I watched it on a plane going to Hawaii, and I thought it was great.
I don't even remember what the last one was about.
It was about dinosaurs chasing people.
Oh, that's right. No, seriously, I can't remember.
Did you even see it? I bet you didn't even see it.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Who was in it?
Don't ask me that question.
Dallas.
Yes.
How many has she
Jimmy
done?
Buffett? No, I don't know. John, don't ask me these questions.
Well, if she's only done one, then yes, I've seen it.
No, she's done at least two.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was the last one, like I said, you look at the Rotten Tomato reviews, they're horrible. But I watched it, I thought this movie is really good. And then I text Josh, I said, I don't get all the hate for the Jurassic Park movie Jurassic World movie, because I really enjoyed it. And he texted me back, yeah, I did too. I don't understand it either. So, but anyway, it might be the superhero thing. Maybe people are just sick of dinosaurs.
That could be.
You know, even though the dinosaurs are here's the thing about these movies. Now they're inventing dinosaurs. They're not dinosaurs that were around. They're inventing them because they want them to be scarier. Yeah. And every movie, every one of them has a dinosaur getting bigger. You know, there's always a bigger dinosaur. You can't just leave it the regular sized dinosaur. Everyone's getting bigger. Pretty soon they're going to have Godzilla in these movies. They wish. By the way, Gareth Edwards, who directed Godzilla, is directing this one. He's got Jonathan Bailey, Scarlett Johansson, and Mahershala Ali in this one as well, and written again by David Koepp, who's written many of the Jurassic movies, and again is one of the best screenwriters in the business these days. I almost want to call him the modern William Goldman, but I don't think he's got that far yet, but he's real close. William Goldman was one of the greatest film writers ever, and novelists. Superman is on July 11th. We've already talked about that one to some degree. We watched when the trailer came out. We all talked about that. Trailer looks incredible. Cannot wait to see it. I think that I hope that James Gunn has captured the magic again, because Superman struggles in the movies for some reason. Ever since Christopher Reeve passed away, before that even, ever since he stopped playing the character, actually, even when he was still playing the character, because that last Superman 4 movie was just awful. But they've never really nailed it. I mean, there've been some good movies, but they haven't clicked with audiences. That's what I don't understand, because I liked the couple of Superman movies between here, not the Superman versus Batman movie, but other ones like that, but they're reinventing him again. My only hope is that we don't have to go through the whole Krypton origin story again. We don't need it again. We know, let's just tell a Superman story. We don't need to go back. And I know Jor-El's in it. In fact, I read a rumor that it was Nick Cage. I don't know if that's true. Nick Cage, because we're close personal friends.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, Superman on July 11th.
Well, see, the different Jor-Els have been.
This will be fun, folks.
Oh yeah. Will serve no wine before snow. It was not him. Marlon Brando.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes, and then another one was the Australian guy, Russell Crowe, and I can't of the movies, and I don't know.
The third one was Jim Varney.
Right,
that would have been good.
Actually, it wasn't Jim Varney; it was his buddy Vern.
You never saw Vern.
I know.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four first steps on July 25th, the latest iteration of the Fantastic Four movie. Will it be successful now? I don't know. Hasn't really clicked with audiences yet, but we'll see. Big cast, though. You got Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Ebon Moss-Bachrach doing The Thing, so that'll be very interesting. Robert Downey Jr. appears for the first time as Dr. Doom, and, maybe Julia Garner is also in it as Natasha Lyonne. Julia Garner's the Silver Surfer. Interesting. Shalabal. I didn't know that was her original name.
Really? Because I always thought the Silver Surfer was a male.
How do you know?
Because
he has no genitalia, John. Have you not ever looked at the Silver Surfer?
Well,
he's like G.I. Joe or Barbie. Could be either one.
Ken. You meant Ken, not G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe did not have genitalia either.
Oh, okay.
I can't believe I'm talking about this because people are going, why does he know they don't have genitalia?
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, we'll see about this one. I hope so. But again, this is one of those that might be suffering from superhero syndrome, tiredness syndrome. The Naked Gun on August 1st. Now, here's the thing. How can you do a Naked Gun movie without Leslie Nielsen?
Yeah.
Here's how. You get Liam Neeson.
Oh, okay.
And if Liam follows, and he said he was going to, Leslie Nielsen's recipe for success for a Naked Gun movie is you don't try to be funny. You just play the role straight and let the material and the people around you be funny. And that's what Leslie Nielsen did best. And if Liam can pull this off, and it seems to me he's got that stone cold soberness that he can, this might actually work. So I got my fingers crossed. And I don't like this part about this. Oh, no, I do like this part. It's worth noting that Leslie Nielsen also had a decades-long career as a serious dramatic actor.
Yes, he did.
Before he started making joke-a-minute comedies. He was in a Barbra Streisand movie and played her abusive husband, and he was scary good. He was an awful person, but he was excellent in it. So, he was, and he was the captain of the Poseidon. Oh, my God. Remember that line? Naked Gun? Maybe. It might work. Well, so I got my fingers crossed on
this. But is it touted as a redo?
Well, since his name's Frank Durbin, I would think probably so.
Or is it a continuation?
Durbin. I don't know. Call Seth MacFarlane and ask him.
Hey, Seth, we're close personal friends too.
It's got to be a reboot because it's not Leslie Nielsen. So, and we're going to have to listen to the whole Krypton story again about how, that's a different show.
Sorry.
August 8th, the Battle of Backdan Cross, one battle after another. The new Paul Thomas Anderson film, so it'll be filled with joy and love. No, his films are always pretty grim. Leonardo DiCaprio, Regina Hill, Teyana Taylor, Wood Harris, Sean Penn, and other people, of course. Benicio del Toro is also in it. Let me see what this is about. It was shot in Sacramento, California, and parts of Humboldt County in the early 2024, and is said to have cost more than $140 million, which makes it the biggest budget film PTA's ever directed. I'm gonna take this call. Johnny, talk about that movie again, Body of Evidence.
The movie, the body of evidence. Oh gosh, I really don't know what to say about this movie except for the fact that it was really bad. As Scotty and I have both mentioned many times when we've talked about this movie, we went to a screening of it. It was a cast and crew screening, and one thing Scotty always had me do whenever we went to a movie, you do not talk during the movie. If it's a serious movie, you do not laugh. Okay, well, this is supposed to be a serious movie. And unfortunately, not only were the cast laughing, but the crew at the screening were laughing. Scotty and I I was biting my lip trying to not laugh. And I can only presume that Scotty was the same, trying to not to laugh.
That is exactly the case. Yeah, I was, and we knew it was the cast and crew screening, and I just couldn't, because there were rules when we went to Hollywood screenings, and one of them was you didn't talk about what you thought about the movie till you were back at the car, because a lot of times the people who were involved in making the movie were there with you. Mm-hmm. So I didn't want people to, that sucked, and I thought it was pretty good, that kind of thing. But anyway, sorry, I had to take that call, but we got to get through this list, so we got about 10 more minutes to go, so let's race through it. So anyway, the Battle of Backseat Cross, one battle after another. Paul Thomas Anderson, I'll watch it. It'll be great. I'll never want to see it again. That's how that guy's movies work for me. There Must Be Blood. Oh man, that movie is brutal.
What is it about? I mean, is it a war movie?
I don't think so.
Takes place in the on another planet, or
it is a riff on Thomas Pynchon's Vinland, not the most obvious big budget blockbuster source material in the postmodern maestros. Wow, how many big words are in this sentence?
Yeah,
I don't know. And the title is a zone of confusion because the Battle of Backseat Cross and one battle after other might both be placeholders. So it might even have a completely different title. But right now, those are the two titles that it's striving for.
Okay.
But it doesn't really say. So if you know Thomas Pynchon and Vineland, then you get a general idea, but nobody really knows.
Okay.
October 3rd, Michael, directed by Antoine Fuqua. And it's the story of Michael Jackson. It's a Michael Jackson biopic. It stars Miles Teller, Coleman Domingo. Jackson himself will be played in the film by his nephew, Jafar Jackson. So we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, I've heard about that one.
Here's the secret to any biopic. If you don't show them warts and all, it's not worth your time. If they show, he's just a wonderful person who look what he did. No, there's some bad things these people did. And they did a really good job with that with the Bob Dylan movie. They showed that Bob's kind of a jerk. And to this day is kind of a jerk. And they showed you that.
Didn't John Travolta do a movie called Michael where he plays an angel?
Yes.
That's what at first when I saw that up there.
That was a good movie too.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed that.
He was a cigarette smoking angel.
Yeah, and he danced.
Well, of course he danced. You don't hire Travolta unless you're going to have him dance somewhere.
That's true too.
November 7th, Predator Badlands, a new Predator movie. This one will, if it's a follow-up to Prey, which I still haven't seen yet, in which the Predators went after the Native American warrior. This one is directed by the same guy, Dan Trachtenberg. The story is Ellie Fanning playing multiple characters and a predator who's the hero of the story, not the antagonist. That's a twist.
Mm-hmm.
That's a twist. So we'll see about that.
And Predator.
Ellie Fanning playing multiple. She's playing multiple parts. Probably clones. Pop, pop, pop. Whatever. November 21st, Wicked for Good. It is the sequel to Wicked. So you know that's going to be big. Mm-hmm. My understanding, and I have not seen Wicked yet, is that it tells you clearly at the end of chapter 1. So you know that part 2 is coming. So this is part 2, Wicked for Good, on November 21st. The Running Man, the remake of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie and the Stephen King story, also on November 21st. This time, the director is Edgar Wright, and Edgar Wright says he's going to follow the story in the book of a lot closer than the original movie did.
Mhm.
The original movie didn't follow much at all in the book, but they say that this one's going to do it. And it's interesting because in this modern world where social media is filling our minds with lies, that's basically what he's fighting against
Mhm.
in The Running Man. He's fighting against big corporations, and it'll be interesting to see how he does this. But I'm very much looking forward to it. Glenn Powell has taken the role.
Again.
Glenn Powell everywhere, and Josh Brolin is the master of ceremony, so he's taking the part of Richard
Dawson.
Did he kiss everybody at the beginning of when he sent somebody running? Did he give him a kiss before he sent him running?
I
I don't
good
think so.
question.
December 19th. Oh yeah, this is Avatar, Fire and Ash, the new Avatar movie on December 19th.
I didn't see the last one.
Well, you didn't have to because $2 billion worth of tickets were sold for it.
Oh, okay.
So they don't really need your money. I really like the Avatar movies. The special effects are mind blowing. The stories are fair. They're pretty good.
Mhm.
But I don't know why they're so wildly popular. It just blows my mind. When we talked about this in the show way before this was happening. We talked about, will people even remember Avatar? Because it'd been 9 years or 10 years
Mhm.
since the last one to come out. And then it goes on to make $2 billion, the sequel. It's like, so I'm sure Avatar 3 will make close to $2 billion. People just can't seem to get enough of these movies. And the good news is the budget's probably close to $300 million because they just give James Cameron anything he wants.
Oh, there's so much computer.
It's a CGI movie.
Yeah.
And that was part of the problem with it, the last one that I did see, because a lot of it, you weren't sure whether you were looking at a Pixar movie or a live action movie. And that's okay because it's supposed to be a science fiction movie, but just, it did stick out in my mind. But there are some scenes in that movie that I didn't see it in theaters. I didn't see it until it was on, I think, HBO. And I for the first half, I'm like, I still don't understand what the big deal is with these movies. And the interesting characters and the little battles. But at the second half, it just blew up. And I thought, oh, now I get it. Seeing this on an IMAX screen would be mind blowing. So, and I might go see this one on IMAX screen just because I'm looking forward to it. But James Cameron, just give him the money, let him do what he wants, and it's probably going to pay off. Some other movies that are coming out, they don't have dates yet. We have the Frankenstein movie. Benicio del Toro is, I'm trying to see if he plays it. I think he's just directing it. But anyway,
okay, I just saw something up there.
well, hold on, we'll get there. We'll go ahead. What?
Andrew Garfield.
No. With Oscar Isaac as Dr. Frankenstein and Jacob Elordi as the monster, replacing Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
A casting what if that is intriguing to contemplate. So Andrew Garfield's out and Jacob Elordi's in. And the supporting cast is Mia Goth, who's been terrific in the X movies, Christoph Waltz, who's and Charles Dance. This might be very interesting. Do they mean Guillermo del Toro?
I don't know.
I think that's wrong. I think they mean Guillermo del Toro. That makes more sense. I know Benicio. I went, wait a second. That's horror icon Benicio. He's not a horror icon.
No.
But Guillermo is. So it's Guillermo del Toro. No date yet, but sometime in 2025, and it's probably going to be on Netflix. So we have that. Wake Up Dead, a Knives Out mystery that will definitely be on Netflix. Might be in theaters for a couple of weeks because those are hugely popular movies, and others here as well. But we'll end with that one. So anyway,
before you go any further, because I know you got to blah blah blah. I did. Yeah, right. What was the book that you said you just got or you bought? You were talking about earlier when we were talking about the
Chuck
movies.
Dixon's A Working Man book.
Oh yeah. Have you started reading it yet?
No, not yet. No.
Okay.
Actually,
speaking
I
of
scored
books,
big time because they had a sale on them. There's 10 of the books that I got. And you could buy a ebook, not a paperback or a hardcover, but an ebook. You get the first 5 for $5 and the second 5 for $5. So I bought all 10.
Why not?
Yeah. And speaking of what?
Speaking of books, R. Scott Bolton is an author, and he has a plethora. I just love using that word, of books that are available on Amazon.com. And if you have Amazon.com, if you have Amazon Prime, you're going to get free delivery. The most recent that is out is Death and the Mogul, or Mogul and the Death. Death and the Mogul.
Death and the Mogul.
And
has to do with death, has to do with a mogul.
Yes. And speaking of, this show is called The Backseat Mogul. Put it away, Scotty. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. That's the death. You're the mogul. Okay, never mind. Anyway, go to Amazon.com, look up R. Scott Bolton, author, and get all of Scotty's books.
I would highly recommend that.
Some are hardback. There's a few hardback, a few paperback. I think
all of them are ebook.
Yeah, I was going to say all of them are ebook, and
all of them are paperback. Some of them are hardback.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
and you're going to really enjoy these books.
And I got a new one coming out, shooting for March, The Bowling Bag in the Back Seat. And John, your time is, you've really overextended.
I know
your
it.
time,
I know it. Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. So, because I have to get that ball rolling. So, all right, folks, thanks again for listening. As always, those were the top 25 top movies that we're looking forward to in 2025, according to GQ magazine. There's a couple more that I wanted to mention. One is the Kyle Quinn, is that his name? Short Round movie.
Oh yeah.
It opens Valentine's Day, and he plays an ex-hitman who doesn't want to be a hitman anymore. But of course, they come looking for him.
Yeah, he retired.
He's got to go back, and he doesn't want to hurt anybody, but sometimes you got to hurt somebody.
What's the name of this movie?
I don't remember the name, and that's what's horrible. That's why I shouldn't have brought it up.
Type in Short Round. Get it, Short Round.
We got to find it now. So just give us a few seconds here, folks. This will just take a second. There is K. See, I was way off. K-Hi Kwan. K-Y Kwan. 2025 movie. There we go. And it is called Love Hurts. Love Hurts.
And he was so good, not only in the Indiana Jones movies, did you one or two?
Just one.
But he was also fantastic in
boy, we're really on it.
Yeah, today. Aren't we? Yes, we are. Were they the pirates?
Pirates of
the Goonies. The Goonies.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Oh, I love it. And he was a spy guy in that one, remember?
They have talked for ages about doing a sequel or a remake of the Goonies, and it never has come to be. And that's too bad, because I think it would do very well. He's got some other upcoming movies. Jack Quaid is the other one I wanted to talk about. He's got two movies that look very interesting. One is called Companion, and I don't know this for sure, but I have a feeling that his girlfriend or wife becomes a zombie, and he doesn't want to let her go, so he tries to keep her and train her. Now, I don't know if this is what it's about or not, but it's got something to do with his girlfriend being some kind of a zombie. I mean, for example, they're having dinner one night. She reaches across a candle and her arm catches fire. And he very calmly gets up and puts her arm. It looks very interesting. Also, on Novocaine, which is the one where he plays a accountant, basically, who feels no pain. He's got that weird ailment where he feels no pain. Well, bad guys kidnap his girlfriend, and he goes after him. And because he can feel no pain, they can't hurt him, but he can hurt himself as he does in the movie. Pretty severe, too. Yeah. But it looks pretty awesome as well. Yeah, I just love Jack Quaid. I think Jack Quaid is terrific. And I'm looking forward to that. Have you ever watched Lower Decks on Amazon? He does one of the voices of that.
No,
it was pretty entertaining.
It was one of those things I just couldn't get into it.
You don't like the animation?
Could be. I don't know.
But you'll watch Star Trek, the animated series, but you won't watch that.
They did take they combined Lower Decks with live action on one of the Star Trek episodes.
Oh.
And was it Discovery? Star Trek Discovery? Or I can't remember, one of the Star Trek TV
I'm so
series.
far behind in my Star Trek, it's embarrassing.
And they the two of the characters who do the voices, somehow they get transported to live action.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's the people who
do the voices.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I see. I really got to batten down and watch all my Star Treks because I've missed a lot. I finished Discovery, but I haven't seen any of Strange New Worlds, and I hear it's the best new Star Trek out there. And I've only seen the first couple of seasons of Lower Deck, so I got to get. And I still have to go back and watch Voyager. I mean, I've watched pieces of Voyager, but I've never watched all of it.
Really?
What Star Trek fan am I? I suck.
Well, I quite enjoyed Strange New Worlds, and when is season 3 supposed to come out?
Let's see if we have a date yet. It seems like it was announced, but I might be wrong. Apparently, it's already been renewed for season 4, so that's good news too. I don't see, but sometime between the first quarter of 2025 to July 2025. So
okay,
those are
so it might be tomorrow.
I think we'd know if that was the case. But anyway, all right, folks, we're out of here.
Real quickly, Reacher's coming this month.
I know, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
Is it this month or next month?
Don't care. It's coming.
Have you seen the trailer for that?
Yeah.
Yep. It's like, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that the head of Amazon Productions said we'll have this is really bad, folks. I don't know why it's such a weird day for us. We'll have the actor who plays Alan
Rickman. No,
Ritzman or something like
Richardson.
Yeah, something. Alan R. We'll have Alan R. play Jack Reacher as long as he wants to play it.
Oh yeah.
And Alan R. said, you know what? I'll play it as long as my body will let me play it. So, and there's, I think, a dozen Reacher novels to pick from out there, and they need to stick to the books because they're some of the best books out there today. And
well, I like the way. Do you like the way they're combining books into an episode, into a season?
I didn't know they were doing that.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly,
the first 2 seasons weren't like that. They were just individual books.
Oh, I was under the impression it was different.
You're wrong.
Apparently so.
Yes. No, they were just individual books. So yeah, hopefully they don't need to do that. Why would you do that? Take a book and run with it. They're not doing them in order. I'll tell you that. But
real quickly,
you said that 6 times ago, and it's not been real quickly yet.
Okay, well, you know me. For me, it's quick.
It's not.
Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six.
I saw the sequel's coming. Rainbow 7.
Yeah. No, wait.
Oh, I made that up.
Listen.
Yeah, Matt. Yeah.
No, Rainbow Six was one of my favorite Tom Clancy books outside of Hunt for Red October. And actually, all the Tom Clancy books I've read, I've really liked. But Rainbow Six was a really good book. And that is coming out. And the same guy that played we talked about him, he plays a twin.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yes. He's in Rainbow Six.
Okay. I haven't read Rainbow Six. Maybe I should.
Yeah, it's well.
Does it have a lot of initials in it?
Yes.
Yeah, most of his books do.
No, Rainbow.
I used to work for the ABR, and then I went to work for the FBI, and then I joined the CIA, and then I joined the F31.
Well, Rainbow Six, it's about this, I believe it's a school that terrorists infiltrate and kidnap. Or anyway, the Rainbow Six squad goes in and rescues them.
Is that going to be a series or a movie?
I don't know. I hope it's a standalone movie.
I love this. Half the show we're looking up as we do it today, but those days happen. Rainbow Six television. Let's try it and see what it says. Video game series. There, Rainbow Six. It's on Internet Movie Database, and it says that it is doesn't say what it is. Well, we don't know. That was a lot of information. We're glad you stuck around to hear that, folks.
Oh, well, okay. But when I first heard about it, I'm going, oh, yeah.
I mean, for example, writer Tom Clancy. I don't think so. I mean, he gets credit, but he's not the only writer. Trust me.
True. Well, I don't know if that was one that he wrote himself.
He did. I just
Okay.
researched that real quick. He did.
Oh, okay.
And but he didn't write the movie because it'd be very difficult for him to do so.
Well, it would be interesting.
Yeah, it would probably be very boring. You think Nosferatu was boring?
Oh, vampires in it.
Yeah. Please.
Well, if it's written by a vampire.
All right, folks. We'll see you next week. What, real quickly, was 10 minutes ago.
Was it Rum Sugar Lime? The tiki place or the
It might have been.
okay.
It might have been the one in Reno.
Yeah.
But they were, whoever it is, they were very nice. I said, no, we're not a tiki bar. We're a tropical bar. And the differences are slight, but obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Can we go now?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Friggin' gnats. Okay, folks. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Brought to you by The Grape, Ventura County's premier jazz venue and cocktail lounge, located at 2733 East Main Street in Ventura. For menu and music schedule, visit them online at thegrape.club. This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.